Day 99 of the Mu 3 land party. Realshard has managed to plug himself into the mains. Marajin fashions a small working gun from a bar of soap and shoots himself in the ear. And Shadow laughs maniacally in the corner.
Let's continue playing Master of Orion 3. When we last left off, we have hydrogen fuel cells, we have sublight drives, and we now have cruiser-sized ships available to build. We also have fusion drives and impulse engines. Both of our next two engine upgrades are sorted, which is good. This will help us with our advancement. We will design our next group of ships now, and we'll design the next group of ships after that once we get to level 17, because that's normal-ish sort of point where I'll do that. So firstly, we need to consider a new defender ship, because we can't build bigger than cutters as a system ship. So we want short-range attack cutters. So these are going to be our new defender ships, which just checking the names of. These will be Defender Mark. I have to do it again because of the way this works. Defender MK2, which I will confirm. Design is invalid, of course, because I have actually not removed anything from this, so let's get rid of all the interceptors. Right, auto build that, discard changes. So they want to put a nuclear warhead on the mass drivers because they're short range and whatever, and a lot of that seems actually fairly pointless, but single point defense laser, we now have class 1 shields and hydrogen fuel cells, so they move quite quickly. So Defender MK2. Confirm. So the next thing we need to do is go and we're gonna mark that as obsolete now, so that will get rid of it. We need to upgrade this one. Let's think about this actually. We'll have to free it system ship, long range attack, and these will be our guardians, which will be the larger ships. Right, and since it's also built, we now have large laser cannons on standard mount. We have a couple of point defense things as well. I'm not going to bother too much about these because Defender and Guardian ships I don't tend to micromanage too much, largely because you can't. So yeah, that's fine. When they build them, and they'll just add to the defenses we currently have. Our bases are probably fine for now. We'll mark that as obsolete. There we go. So we need a long range, we need a short range, and we need both starships have got to be redesigned. So we can free it long range ship, starship, and free it class ships. Let's remember this one, right? Let's also mark those as obsolete because we don't need them anymore. We need new scouts as well, actually. So Eagles are short, Falcons are long, for no obvious reason. So starship, long range attack. Falcon Mark II. Let's think about this one a little, actually. 3-point defense lasers. We do have shielding. ECM is jams computer. White noise at close range. We have as much armor and shield generators as we can get. That's probably fine. Did we design it? No, it's now got rid of it. Sometimes I hate the systems in this game. Sometimes I do. Right. Falcon Mark II. Confirm. Next, we need a short-range attack ship, which will be slightly smaller now. These will be corvettes sized as opposed to frigates, and these will be our Eagle. MK2. And since we have, I don't know, we're not going to fit anything into space, so that's fine. Next, we need to build reconnaissance craft at Eagle size, except I've just confirmed the same design twice, haven't I? Also build that. So it has the focus detection array, it has the counter ECCMs, and it has a few point defense lasers. Nothing great, but it's enough for now to be a scout. Mark II. Is there space there? I don't think there is, but well, that's fine. So we can now go and mark that obsolete. We're going to keep the defense base as it is for now. We're going to mark those two as obsolete. In fact, we get rid of that one in place of that one. So that now basically has meant our ships are now upgraded to at least have more speed. The other thing we want to upgrade actually is the colony ship if we can, although this is less of a priority. And I always remember these being slightly awkward to buy. Also build a colony ship, and actually it's destroyer size. What size are our current colony ships? Light cruisers. So we've actually made smaller... We've actually made smaller ships than what we got, which is fine. This is what we want. So this is now our new Colony Mark II. So they're quicker, and they are sort of built. Don't need to upgrade the system colony ships because they don't need to go anywhere. I don't build out post ships at all, so I just keep that one there. Troop ships will need an upgrade though, so we'll stick with Corvette. We'll go down to Corvette size transports auto builds. Let's see, can we get cutter transport auto builds? Not and fit that. So frigates can have one troop pod with some weapons. Yeah, that'll have to do then. So that's going to be Troop Mark II. They don't technically need to be as fast as the others, but I like to have them as fast. We'll go and build upgraded defense bases and things a little later because they don't urgently need the speed boost, as they're fairly immobile. So, there we go. Our fleets are now been upgraded. Let's now consider the board. We have a scout fleet on our system, which we've now explored. And as you can see, they have one singular race there. We don't have any troop transports other than that one. And that will be there in 6 turns. We can be there in 3 turns with a bit of a large fleet. Also, we did get a notification that one of our planets, I think it's the Hyuk system, has lost its population probably because they've all migrated off. Still, that means that we now have 2 yellow ones that we can go and send colony ships to in a while. Angbala B system still has a green one and a yellow one we can send colony ships to later. So now I think it might actually be time, rather than continuing the military route, to actually go and start expanding a little more. So let's build 2 new colony ships after that infantry group has been built. Because that seems like a sensible idea to me, getting a few more colonies on the ground. Meanwhile, you 1 turn away from getting to there. You now have a fairly established system which is now building its own sort of things. I'm going to have you build a mobilization center. Not that I'm planning on mobilizing a lot of ships from here, I'll be honest, but just so that they're there. And you can build a defense base. Well, that's the... Yeah, I now remember I had the other defense base, actually. That's missiles and that's carrier. But let's go and build one of those anyway, just because I like to have some form of protection on that system, even if it's already got some. Right. End turn. So we're currently blockading Ewen. We're going to keep blockading it, and we're also blockading the... Oh, darn it. We found the Guardian. Right, where's Nazin? Right, we now found one of the Guardians. Basically, yeah, that's probably a very nice system there, but we're not going to find out about it until very late in the game. It means we have nowhere to go except this way now. So if it wasn't clear for us before, now it is expand or die. Meanwhile over here, you're 11 turns away from building that. And I can accelerate that to 8 turns without causing any problems. So we'll keep it at 8 turns. Infrastructure, you're fairly sorted actually on the infrastructure point of view. You never actually equipped, which is probably a mistake by me actually, I didn't realise it. Mining. We need some bioharvest on this system because it's a small one even though we got lots of it. So that's 4-6 is probably as good as we're going to get. 4-6 then. It's a large enough planet, so I'll put 2 bioharvest on there just to be certain that it's got enough. Government, military, recreation, and research. That's the bare minimum that's going on here. It's an average system, so we can afford to put some industry on it. Yeah, change that to industry. 8 industry should be fine here, so that will pretty much sort itself out without too much problem. over here, this is a rich world, so we want to put some additional mining facilities on here. Government, military, recreation, research, mining. There's actually arable up there, so I might put one bioharvest in here. Industry, double industry. Yeah, more industry, I think. And finally, Rigel Kent #1, which is a large world. Poor minerals, though. So we'll put whatever we can on here. But we're not expecting an awful lot from this. Can put some basic bioharvesting down there, but I think it might be... No, actually, that's going to be worse. That's 3-8. What was that? It doesn't actually matter then. So it's between... Might as well put it there. Bioharvest, research. Research, recreation, government, military. Put an industry down? Yes. Put 1 in down. We'll put 4 down here. And then we'll put 2 more research up there. Then it's just a case of waiting for this one to sort itself out, although we need to actually get rid of the migration patterns here, because otherwise we're just going to get rid of all of our other worlds we were sort of building up. And it means it's focusing now on this one. Right, over here then, we have all of that is good. Planet's now building facilities so it can build larger ships. Same with that. Yeah, this is why I have the defenders as quite small ships, just so that any new planet I get can actually start building them straight away. Once we get here, things are going to start giving us problems, because we're now going to enter into an area where it's going to be difficult to defend from everywhere. Rigel Kent, I'm quite glad, is there as the capital world, because that's a reasonable point to defend. And we can expand backwards without any risk, since we know it's a Guardian world out there. 3 turns to another ship there. You're building a scout ship, then that. So there's not a lot else you can build. You might as well build the space fighter, whatever it was. You got a system colony being built. You have that, so you already have the facilities to build larger ships. You're currently working on your industry, and you are doing not an awful lot because you haven't got a lot of things built. So excellent. Right, we are going to go through some turns this turn, and we have multiple systems arriving. We're going to hold position in the Owen system, and they decided to attack us, did they? Okay, that's not good. Personal deflectors, though, are improvement to our ground troops, giving them a little more armor. And it appears that we are now kind of at war, doesn't it? Right, I'm going to create another ground transport. It's going to be a trained infantry corps if we can get it. Do you have enough troop ships to do that? Yes, we do, actually. We have lots of troop ships. And yeah, this is one problem I will find throughout this. We will be overwhelmed with people building troop ships sooner or later. You kind of have to ban them at some stage, just because it's just going to go and overwhelm you and drain your money. It gets a little silly. What are you doing? You're probably one of the planets that's doing it. No, you're building Falcons. What I want you to do is build a mass conversion module and a super space fighter base, because that will get you better defended. You are building a mobilization center with the asked you to, and defense. And our main Rigel Kent is building its mobilization center, which will speed things up. We're going to blockade it for now. We don't want to take it off them. Hoshi and Aden sector. We now have missile bases, and we now have marines. So stop building infantry, because these are about 3 times stronger. And because they are 3 times stronger, our infantry is now essentially redundant. So, let's go and change what we've queued up here. You don't want infantry anymore, we want marines. As many of them as we can get initially, because they're the bulk of our military for quite a way into this game, depending on how things go. And as I say, they are approximately 3 times stronger. As the same level of equipment, infantry. You're actually building marines, which is good. You don't have anything queued. And you. Well, that's all fine there. Right. So now it's arrived. In 3 turns, we'll have a transport, so we'll be able to take the Owen system off of them. Although it's actually starting to die out, that system. To be a little careful with that. We haven't been to the Wabir system, but it might be worth exploring it, so I'm going to send a fleet out to do so. If that is the case, I might actually split these up, have the second one go and attack the Owen system, and then the first one go and attack the Wabir system. Depends how things go. Rajal Kent is now an established colony, so we'll cancel migration there. And build some more mining facilities. Rare plants here, so population bioharvesting by 1, space efficiency, research efficiency. It's a poor world, so I'm actually going to abandon that and go for the increased research efficiency here. Nope, we want research. Remove. Add. Put mining in other places, and we do have lots of additional mining now. We're now producing more than double the amount we actually need. Decreases mining efficiency, decreases manufacturing efficiency. Well, I don't mind that so much. Oh, Hypertalis. We actually need the Ansaris to go and take this one. We've got some Klakons who've for some reason decided to colonize this area, which is where that's happened. Add some bioharvesting. Government, military. Got the research already set up. And then some industry. And what don't we have? I don't think we've got any recreation actually. Nope, so that's all good. Alright, that system is now fully colonized and fully ours. Let's move on. We're going to blockade the planet here. Not going to bother fighting this one. Research efficiency decreased 50 turns. Hurrah. Frisch 2 has now got a system on it. It is rich. It is very, very small. Which means all I'm going to put on there is a government facility. I'm going to essentially not do an awful lot with this. Government, military, and 2 industry. It'll work itself out. It'll be fine. It just means we have an additional system. So Frisch 2 means we've now colonised everything here. Next, that's heading to Bungalow 3. I'm kind of hoping we haven't got... Sometimes the AI is a little weird with things and it will queue up whatever, but... Oh, neither of those are actually looking very healthy, actually. We could probably be seeing the end of this race, the way things are going. So we're going to take that one because it's the most likely one we're going to take, but we're going to keep the... keep that there, then we'll come and take the second one when it comes to it. Blockading the planet, we're not conquering it just yet. Right, Bungalow 3 has now been conquered. No fighting the Owen system, and we've been contacted by other empires. They like us more. Okay. So Bungalow B has not been colonised with its yellow one. I'm going to set some migration there to finish that off. What's probably going to happen is that second one's going to come along and colonise the first one, I hope. But you can never be sure with AI colonisation patterns and the way they tend to do things. Because they like to do weird things sometimes. No, nothing I need to worry about here. We're going to assault the planet now. Let the AI control things, and we're going to let the AI control things. We've gained 1 region on Owen 6. Industry is finished on Frisch. We now have quite a lot of various things done. And Rajal Kent now has a mobilization center, so we can now deploy from there, which is going to speed a lot of things up. In the meantime, I need to have a look at our shipyards, actually. So obsolete stuff. We got a lot of obsolete troop ships. That's not a problem for now, but it might be later. I'll get there in 4 turns. Let's create another ground transport. We want Marines. And a trained corps of Marines. Accept. Accept. That'll get there in 3 turns. So we've got this second one in case we need it, but hopefully we won't need it. We might not even need that first one. But it's just worth knowing it's there. Salt planet. We're going to control it because we... yes. Oh, we're going to let the AI take over that. Gained one more region on Owen. Colony ship has arrived on Bungalow B2, which is... oh, we've actually got a connecting system sorted out there. And you've now sorted yourself out. So, excellent. Right. Now some micromanaging bits and pieces, because we need them. Hostile fauna means that's going to be problematic, and so is this one. Hooray. It is, though, very rich. So, 2 mining. 2 industry. 3rd industry. Government. Military. Research. And that should be fine. It's the other one that's a little more of a problem. Although maybe it won't be. It does have mountains at the very least. So that's free. Government. We should be fine for biohive. We've got far more than we need for it, really. Some research up there. Military and industry. In fact, we want to do 2 industry, really. That'll do. Not worried about optimizing worlds as much as we perhaps could be, because honestly we're going to have so many of the darn things. It's one of the major sort of issues, if you like, with this game. It does have... well, it's fine. We'll continue onwards. So, okay. We're going to assault the planet. We're probably going to be intercepted here by the look of it. They took out one of our ships. Okay, that's a warning sign. We're going to done. We're not going to bombard anything here. Let the AI continue controlling it. Invasion gained no ground. Yeah, we are stalling. So next turn the Marines are going to come in and they're going to finish things off, we hope. We do hope. Task Force. Yeah, now we got some Mark II ships being built. We need to actually... I had a look at this a little earlier, but we need to now scrap obsolete ships, with the exceptions of these. Troop ships are the only ships we're going to keep for the moment. Everything else needs to be scrapped. Now that that's done, we're going to deploy a new task force. We want a long-range detachment. We want a squadron. We want a flotilla. See if we can build it with what we got. Get rid of the Falcon 1s. We have Part 2s and a scout ship. We don't have a new scout ship yet, do we? And we need pickets to fight. Yeah, this... okay. So squadron is going to have to be. And that's the way it's going to have to go. Right. Because that's a faster squadron, it'll get there quicker than... it'll get there about the same time as this second fleet. In fact, we might even... nah, not quite. Didn't quite work that one out properly. Right. Assault the planet because we can. Victory. And because we have victory, we're going to AI control that. And we're going to AI control that. And we've conquered planets. Pending diplomacy messages. Research agreements. We're going to agree to that one. Alright, next up. All of that's going down there, and you are going to stay there. Owen's now ours. And we actually need to get some migration going to it, because otherwise we're going to lose control of the system. So, military one being built. Orbital debris. Increases mining efficiency by 35%. This is actually a bit better than average world for mining. And we have rare metals there, which increases manufacturing. So, we'll go and put some more of that there. Oh, this is a very nice system, I have to be honest. Bioharvest efficiency's 0 here for Clacons, but if we can get the other type onto there, the Imsaris, we might actually be able to use that. So we shall continue with that one. Government, we want... no, military, we want recreation, and then we want research. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 2 there. We want another 2 industry here. And that takes it up to 3, 4, 6. Right. Beyond that, double research. 2 more industry. And that should be everything there. Excellent. Right, that's something we can colonize, so we want it. And that's something we can colonize, so we want it. And the rest are okay for other people, but not for us. Next thing we need to consider, actually, on the Owen system, as soon as it can be done, is the mobilization center is building. Actually, do we have a reconnaissance squadron available here? We have no scout ships whatsoever. Frisch, Homeworld. Yeah, Eagles are fine. We do want some scouts though, so I'm going to have you build a couple. I'm going to scrap that. I'm going to build you the matter conversion module so you can go up to the next size of ships. And then we're going to consider building our cruisers. So, oops, didn't want to do that really. So let's go and conquer the Webier system now. Infantry magazines, we have you approaching down there as well. Great ground transport of trained Marines. We have lots of experienced infantry now, but trained Marines, we have a Troop 2 and mostly Troop 1, so we're not going to waste the Troop 2 just yet. You're going to head down there as well, just in case, and if not, we can always just keep it around. It's not going to do any harm. So, Soul Planet, commit. We want to control this because I don't actually want to. Oh, do we have troops? Apparently we had troops. We encountered a new race. We have conquered the planet. Colony ships belonging to your empire has arrived at Iridani 2, and the Irala Empire has been destroyed. Relations improving. Well, they're not, it's -2, but they like what we're doing is what it actually means. Mind you, that could still be one of the things that's still bugged, because the AI the diplomacy in this game is in... Why are you going to the black hole? No, why are you going to the black hole? Did I order you to go to the black hole? I ordered you to go to the Webier system. The Webier system, it makes sense for you to go to. Why are you going to the black hole? Oh, you seriously suggesting that that is where I sent you? So if I look at the video and I find that I did not send you to that black hole, I am going to be slightly pissed. Right. Well, that's one way of getting rid of all of our weakened ships, I suppose, but that's not the intended way. Right, now we need our scout deployments as fast as possible. So, do we have... We do, actually. So I can go for a reconnaissance detachment. Scout 2. Accept. I want you to go and explore a little. So, next time first enemy is destroyed, we move on to the next set of enemies. Because the universe is vast. Well, the universe is very spirally. But we're now entering the middle of it, and this is where things can get very difficult for us. So until next time.